After we left my uncle's house in Virginia, we met up with my friend Sophie at Little Paint Branch Park in Maryland, which is about 30 minutes outside of the city where she has an apartment. We didn't really want to bring the van to the city. We had a great time with our mimosa brunch, despite the cicadas, which were everywhere, and Katara was curious about them. Sophie had fun playing with them, but it was a great time before we hit the road to Lancaster. Here we are in downtown historic Lancaster. It's absolutely adorable. We have this beautiful kind of cloudy day. It's like in the mid-70s, a little humid, super pleasant out, warm. We are walking in Longs Park right now, and then we're going to head back to where we parked the van at Middleseed Meadery. We're gonna do a little mead tasting.
All right, we are at a meadery in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and we just tried sort of the harder, higher alcohol percentage ones, and there are some interesting ones in there. We like the Scandi coffee.
Scandi coffee was so good.
And the Valerius Doublewood are our favorites.
Yes.
But now we're trying the lower alcohol percentage ones, and so the first one is a sweet blueberry and honey. Cheers. Oh, that's really good. It tastes like blueberries.
We definitely slept well that night, had a very relaxing time spending 2 days in Lancaster. Basically just catching up on work, reading. I got to walk Katara around the college there, Franklin and Marshall. So we just had a really pleasant, chill time. We hit the road to go boondocking in Reading. All right, so we thought we had found like this little heaven to camp at, you know, with our like beautiful lake views right here. We're just kind of like on the side of the road in like a random like lake area. We drove by some nice houses to get here, but yeah, we've been here for about 2 hours, and a cop pulled up behind us, and we thought he was just gonna say like, hey, no camping allowed. And we were like, oh, we weren't camping here, we were just spending the day. And he like looks at me and he's like, if you were planning on camping here, I wouldn't. He's like, this is one of the most dangerous cities in the country with a lot of drugs, and apparently there are circle jerks that happen where we are parked. So he highly encouraged us to move along and find somewhere else. So it's bright daylight now. No illicit activities to be seen, but we are gonna pack up and say goodbye to this beautiful view. And I just texted somebody on Harvest Host, and hopefully she will let us stay on her farm, which is about 8 minutes away. So we'll see. Today has been quite the adventure of trying to find water, trying to boondock, a couple of failed experiments, but it's been pretty funny. We're in good spirits.
We just had a traumatic experience in the van. I was rushing a little bit to get going, and we didn't lock the fridge. And so I got off the side of the road, and there was a big, the pavement wasn't even. So the fridge swung open, all these bottles came out, our big thing of jam that was from one of the farms broke open and got everywhere.
Jam literally all over the van. However, our wine and cold brew coffees didn't break, so that was a win.
Yeah, until I put one of the cold brews up on the counter, and then it proceeded to slide off and break, and so then we had that to clean up as well. So a lot of broken glass, a lot of liquid, but we got it.
But we made it to this spot for a nice little picnic to recover our balance. And in the meantime, one of the Harvest Host people called me back and was like, yeah, you could stay on our farm. And I was like, thank God, because our accommodations fell through. So the universe is looking out for us. We're on our way to, I think it's called Little Bent Farm. Seems like an awesome little farm. We're really excited to have a safe place to stay tonight. So our cop friend told us that this was an iconic bridge that people drove from all over the country to see. I'm not sure about that, but it looks like everybody from around this area comes to this bridge and decides to put their graffiti on it. So we're on a little graffiti walk right now.
Wow.
I mean, I think the view is really what we're looking at here, though the amount of graffiti on this bridge is also a wonder. Currently going for a walk around the Bent Limb farm, which is where we ended up after the cop generously told us that we should not stay at the lake where we were staying. And I'm so glad all that happened because this place is absolutely beautiful. Our host Pam is super sweet, and right now I'm exploring, looking for some ewes, and then going over to feed the goats with pretzels. I have a baby goat licking my leg. Oh, hi, Mr. Goat. Hi. So many goats. Hi. Does my leg taste good, little one? They really like butternut squash pretzels. In the morning, we got to watch the giant pig scratching himself against a tree, which was a real treat. And we were really sad to have to leave and go to our next destination, but we're pretty sure we're gonna be back next time we're in the area. So next we went to Kutztown, which was only about 15-20 minutes up the road. Really cute historic downtown area. I got to go to the used bookstore, see some creepy monk statue, take Katara on another walk through a cute college campus, and just get to enjoy. Oh my god, that store was absolutely amazing. They had everything I needed for health food things. They even had this like concentrated, organic, biodegradable soap stuff that I can make my own cleaning supplies for the van. So I'm in heaven right now. I am so glad we came to this little town. How's that burger?
Incredible. One of the best I've ever had.
My salad is amazing. It's one of the biggest I've ever had, and that's saying a lot from me. It's a pickled egg in there, goat cheese from the farm, mixture of spring mix, radicchio, snap green peas, asparagus, dill, sunflower seeds, and I can't even name what other goodness is in here. This like green goddess dressing. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. We're at Pocono Organics right now, and this is actually our second meal here. We got breakfast because we were just gonna check in and say, hey, like, we're staying here for Harvest Toast. And then we saw the menu and we're like, oh, we need breakfast. But we'd already had breakfast.
Pancakes.
So we had second breakfast. What'd you have, babe, for breakfast?
Eggs, bacon, and their potatoes, and it was so good.
I had their farmer's hash, which was potatoes, sweet potatoes, like some kabocha squash or something, with fried eggs and their house-made sausage. Oh my god, I can't even. So good. We're in heaven. Organic food. I'm on my first ride in forever, and I'm at Lake Harmony. It is beautiful. All right, a lot of hot hills. I should put this down. It's like 50 degrees outside, which is totally awesome. And for the first time, I got out of bed and I needed more clothing. And so I took my rumple blanket and made it into a little leg blankie so I didn't have to dig into my clothing drawer to find sweatpants. JP was the genius behind this. We made it to Hawk Falls. As you can hear, they're super loud, totally amazing. It's pretty cold. It's like 40 degrees and Qatar is a little chilly. So are we, but it was so worth it. What an amazing little hike. It was only a mile and about 15 minutes away from Pocono Organics. So we're in heaven right now. So I was inspired by Pocono Organics' awesome breakfast to up my omelet game today. So today we have a 6-egg omelet, obviously split between JP and I, stuffed with sprouts, pesto, chicken, and mozzarella cheese.
Yay!
That's what's up. So I'm on my first kind of real trail run in a long time, and I'm in the Malone Dickinson Preserve. Anyway, not super well marked. So I've been following these blue and white trail markers. So I'm like definitely, ooh, there's a tick. Ew, gross. Ew. Ew, I got it off. It wasn't latched in yet. Ew. Oh my god, that was fucking disgusting. Excuse my language. Okay. Legs are clear. I'm gonna turn this off and do a tick check. Ugh. Okay, we're clear. No ticks. Okay, I'm low-key traumatized. This trail is pretty aggressive. It's super just rocky. Not like the most fun for trail running. I've turned my ankle several times. Not badly. I'm still able to run. It's fine. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep following these blue and white little marker things and get my butt back to camp and do 10 more tick checks. Ah! All right, so I just came out of that trail. And now look at this. 2 roads diverged within the woods, and I would like to take the one to get me back to my fucking campsite. No sign. No sign. Blue marker. There's a blue marker on that tree, blue marker on that tree. I'm following the blue markers. So you know what I did? I said, Mom, Dad, God, give me a sign. And then I peed, waiting for the sign to happen. Ew. Okay, that one was just a fly, don't worry. As I'm peeing, I hear road noise that way, which is where I'm trying to go. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. Whew. Oh my God, I've never been so happy to hear road noise in my entire life. I made it out of the woods. TBD where I actually am, but it is a main road and one that I know leads back to my campground. So 5 miles down, we'll see how many more to go. I'm feeling fine, athletically speaking, I'm fine. I've got plenty of water, I've got pepper spray, I've got my knife. There are no ticks on my legs, so we're doing good. We're back in business. Well, getting lost allowed me to get spit out into this random area where I could see this. Not too bad. And I'm only like 1.5 miles away from the campground now on the main road, which I'm gonna run on. So all's well that ends well. Thank you, angel parents, for having my back. Dad, you taught me how to blaze a trail. So I'm really proud of this fire right now because the wood was really hard and I couldn't use the hatchet to like chop it into too fine of pieces. So I had to scrounge around the woods here to find little pieces of kindling, but ultimately I got this beautiful fire going and we are cooking in our Dutch oven, a kind of Caribbean inspired stew thing with ground beef from Walnut Hollow Farm, black beans, organic corn, tomato sauce, kale, another kind of green that I can't remember, and a ton of spices. So I'm really excited for this.
Katara's also enjoying her dinner. She got a little extra chicken fat. She seems to be really enjoying it.
All right, so we are leaving the Malone Dickerson campground area in New Jersey on our way to Manhattan. Thankfully, this guy's driving because I don't want to drive in the city. We have about 1 hour and 3 minutes ahead of us right now. I'm super excited. Honestly, I'm excited to be getting out of this campsite area. This is our first kind of negative experience being in the van. The campground host who I'd been emailing with back and forth because he was like, I don't know if we can have you in the tent area because you have a van. And I was like, okay, well then put us in the RV area. He was like, and then he was like, I need to check with my supervisors. Like, it was just kind of a weird situation. And so ultimately they did put us in the tent area, which was fine. It was beautiful. We had ample space, like the van was good. Their stipulation, however, was you're not allowed to sleep in your car. That's a rule we have at the campground. So you need to set up a tent and sleep there. And we were like, yeah, we'll set up a tent and sleep there. Of course not. Of course we slept in our damn van. And what's more, it rained last night, so we were really happy to be in our van. But I was kind of ticked off because our tent is now all wet and we had to just put it back in the van. Didn't have time to dry. And we're going to stay with friends in Manhattan, and it's not like there's an ample yard area in which to dry the tent. So fortunately, we're going to my brother's house in Boston the next day, and we'll be able to dry our tent out there because he's outside of the city. But yeah, there were tons of ticks and just kind of a weird county vibe here. So we're excited to be getting the heck out and having our first urban experience as Vanlifers. Oh my God, the New York skyline is in view.
We're so excited.
We're going to the city. Katara, are you excited? We're going to the city. JP found an outdoor parking lot online that was only a half-mile away from our friend Eric's house, who was hosting us for our 24 hours in Manhattan. He took us on an epic walking tour all the way from Chelsea down to the Battery, following the Hudson River, and then back up through Tribeca, Soho, Greenwich Village, and the Meatpacking District. We had a great time sampling local food and drinks, and then getting to play games with the family in the evening back at their apartment. The next day, we found our van safe and sound where we parked it. The parking attendant was absolutely amazing, very diligent about his job. And then we set off for Boston to go see my brother and his family just outside of the city. A man after my own heart, Carter knew that we would want to stretch our legs after the 4-hour drive in the van, and so he planned an awesome hike with us nearby in the Blue Hills, and my niece Juliet went along with us. It was absolutely beautiful. We got to see the Boston skyline. Weather was perfect, a little warm, nothing we're not used to from Miami, and we had a blast. Great introduction to a couple days with family. And magnificently, when we came home, Patrice, Carter's wife, had an amazing meal of steak and salmon and veg waiting for us. We got to celebrate Father's Day with Carter, complete with ice cream cake and pies. All right, so we have been on the road for a little over 3 weeks at this point. Crazy. So how do you think it's been different this third week?
It hasn't really been different. The thing that I've realized is that we've got to spend so much time with family these past few weeks, and being stuck on the West Coast working most of the time, I never had the opportunity to join Sam on any of her trips out east. And so now we're getting to spend quality time with family that we just wouldn't have been able to see if it weren't for Vanlife. And it's been really incredible. I mean, even though we're all working from home, we get to have dinner together, and even like taking breaks from the workday, just seeing each other, and it's been really special.
It's been so nice seeing both family and friends. I mean, he's talked about his friend Eric in New York for as long as I've known him, and I never got to meet him. So it was really fun for me to see glimpses of his life and people that are important to him on the East Coast, and for me getting to share my East Coast family with him. And for me too, they came to our wedding, but they didn't really get to spend one-on-one quality time with JP. So it's been really special getting all that time together with family. Another thing I was reflecting on too, as I was actually making the video for this week, was that I had a hard time remembering the specific days. When I made the first 2 videos, I was like, all right, Monday we were at this farm and Tuesday we went here, and I could list everything really easily. And it's not that the days are blurring together because I'm bored or it's not as interesting, but it doesn't feel like vacation mode. When you're on vacation, you can remember every single thing that you do, but in real life, you don't remember what you did last Wednesday, right? So now it feels like we've shifted kind of from the vacation mode, even though we've done a lot of vacation-y things like eating out with friends, a lot of drinking, staying up kind of late, more vacation lifestyle, but it's still kind of slipping more into real life mode.
Yeah, and this also marks the beginning of a 1-month period where we're not going to see anyone. We don't have any plans to stay with anybody, so I feel like we sort of had our honeymoon phase the first 3 weeks, and now we're really going to see what Vanlife does for us.
Yes, yeah, we left my brother Carter's house this morning in Boston, and for the next month we are on our own. We're actually going to stay with one friend of a friend for a night at a lake in Maine, but besides that,
that's different.
Yeah, not like family, not like a long-term thing. So yeah, we are now officially on the road, vagabonding it up. I'm excited to see what these next weeks have in store.
Yeah, should be fun. Until next time.
Oh, and if you like what you're watching, subscribe to our channel and tell other people to watch it too.